Hi, up until now you've always measured angles in a degree. So here we have a circle, a unit circle, so the radius is actually 1, okay, and this angle here is theta, this radius, this will also be 1. Now if this length here is also 1, this angle here is said to be 1 radian. Now on its own it doesn't really mean very much, but it is a much more useful way for measuring angles, particularly when it comes to doing calculus. So, just repeat, the angle theta subtended at the centre of the circle by an arc length 1 is called 1 radian. So you've got unit 1 here, doesn't matter what the unit is, this is 1 here, this angle here, this part of the circumference here is 1 as well. So if this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this angle here is called 1 radian. Now, so this leads to what is the conversion between degrees and radians? Well, the best way to do it, if we go all the way around the circle, then this angle here is 360 degrees. And now the length around the circle, the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r, but r is actually equal to 1, so it's 2 pi times 1, so that's 2 pi. Therefore, 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. And then from that we can get a conversion factor. If we want to work the conversion factor, if we divide both sides of this by 360, we're going to get 1 degree is 2 pi over 360, or 1 degree is pi over 180 radians. And that is the conversion factor that is used. And therefore you should realise that 1 radian, going back the other way, will be multiplied by the reciprocal of that, which is 180 over pi. Now 1 radian is approximately 180 over pi, which is 57.3 degrees. So the angle here of the original problem, theta in the original problem, is 57.3 degrees. So we get to convert from degrees to radians, we need to multiply the angle by pi over 180, the angle being theta. So if this is in degrees, get it into radians, we need to multiply by pi by over 180. And then going back the other way, so convert from radians to degrees, so this time if theta is radians, well, theta times 180 over pi. Perhaps to make that a little bit clearer, we can call that theta degrees times pi over 180, we'll convert it to radians, and then theta radians times 180 over pi, we'll change it back to degrees. Right, so those are the rules. Now we have this idea what we have particular angles. So if we convert 0 degrees to radians, 0 times pi 180 gives me 0 radians. 30 is 30 times pi over 180. The 30 will go into 186 times, so we get that 30 degrees is pi over 6 radians. And then 45 degrees is 45 times pi over 180, which gives you 45 goes into 184 times, so that's going to give me pi over 4 radians. And then 60 degrees is going to be equal to 60 degrees times pi over 180, which is going to 60 goes into 183 times, so it's going to give me pi over 3 radians. And then 90 degrees is going to be 90 times pi over 180. 90 goes into 182 times, and therefore we get pi over 2 radians. So learning these, what 30 degrees is pi over 6, 45 is pi over 4, 60 degrees is pi over 3, and 90 degrees is pi over 2. Now sometimes in some books this is written as 1/6 pi, 1/4 pi, 1/3 pi, and 1/2 of pi. So these should be learned. These you should learn, okay, so you make sure you know these in your A-level course. So this has been a video to introduce radian measure and to introduce the particular angles. I hope you've understood, and I thank you very much for watching.